Good morning. Thank you for joining us on the morning show with Kentucky Nurses Foundation. I'm Janie Heath, and the brilliance behind today's show is from none other than KNA CEO Delanor Manson, our creator, producer, and director of not only the morning show, but all things for Kentucky nurses. Also, a big thank you to our sponsor of the morning show, the Denton Group, with Julie Denton as president, and also she is our very own KNA lobbyist. Next. Before we take off with you meeting and hearing from key stakeholders of our Kentucky Nurses Foundation, I want to set the stage a little to elevate the powerful work we do for the Commonwealth of Kentucky through our mighty KNA enterprise that Delanor is the CEO of, and consists of Kentucky Nurses Association, Kentucky Nurses Foundation, and the Kentucky Nurses Action Coalition. After serving as the immediate past president of the Kentucky Nurses Action Coalition, I now have the distinct honor to serve as the Board of Trustees chair for the Kentucky Nurses Foundation. Next. We have 11 trustees, of which you may recognize several, especially the top row that shows all the sage wisdom we have. Ida, as a retired Eastern Kentucky University professor of nursing and our immediate past chair. Linda, as retired Murray State professor of nursing and a speaker you'll hear from shortly. Dolores, as a professor of nursing at Northern Kentucky University and our current KNA president. Donna, as a healthcare consultant and immediate past KNA president. Kathy, as a retired Bellarmine University professor of nursing and past KNA president. On the next row, Deb, as a retired community volunteer and treasurer of KNF. Bev, as NP faculty at University of Louisville and KNF secretary. Robert, as executive director for the Actors Theater of Louisville. And although he is not a nurse, his mom, who is no longer living, truly a nursing legend, Dr. Juanita Fleming, she influenced his heart and soul as if he was a nurse. On the bottom row, Bill, a senior oncology hematology specialist for Insight, a biopharmaceutical company. Loretta, as a professor of nursing at Madisonville Community and Technical College. And Angela, as a senior HR manager for Beam Suntory Spirits. We have an amazing, talented board and a very diverse board. Next. Our charge as KNF trustees is pretty clear. Be mission-driven for actionable outcomes that support Kentucky nurses by garnering funds, securing funds, and protecting funds to advance education, professional development, and research for Kentucky nurses. Next. If you attended the KNA business meeting last Friday, you would know that KNF rocked it with outcomes this past year. 100% of all KNA boards, that is 31 members on KNA board, KNF board, and KNAC board, engaged in board stewardship. Student scholarship program is something you'll be hearing about today, especially when it comes to one of our scholarships, Mildred Met Scholarship. That's one of our most powerful and impactful programs that we have. Our e-gaming program raised $23,000 last year. And yes, you'll have an opportunity to join in the fun today and win some awesome prizes. We continue to go in a positive direction with our Honor a Nurse or Honor the Profession program. Last year, we raised $7,000. Through a partnership with the Kentucky Funeral Directors, we try to recognize nurses that are no longer with us through a special Nightingale tribute that is presented to their family. This past year, we recognized 53 nurses. This year, we will be offering two $2,500 nursing research awards. So keep an eye out for that application that'll be posted on our website after the first of the year. Whether in Western Kentucky or Eastern Kentucky or even Hawaii, you'll hear in just a few minutes the direct impact we had for nurses that faced unimaginable Kentucky disasters. Coming in 2025, we have an awesome license plates that will go on sale or be available to purchase, showcasing our signature logo. There is no healthcare without nurses. And the final program we work hard to better support you in is the Kroger Card Program. Every family that signs up for the K&A Kroger discount membership, the Kroger Corporation donates $10 per family to the K&A. So we're really rocking it with all our programs. Next. So now, really what you've been waiting to hear is from our key stakeholders. For them to tell us their moment for mission or their testimonies about what KNF means to them. First is Dr. Linda Thomas, retired Murray State nursing professor and a longtime KNA contributor and leader who now serves as a KNF trustee and vice chair. Linda?
Thank you so much. And I want to have a great opportunity to talk. I never at a loss for words. So I hope that I can keep this short and sweet and to the point. But I have been a nurse for over 54 years, 26 years at the community college at Madisonville, and then 7 years at Murray State University. And during that entire time, I had a great association with other members who are KNA members and have been on the Kentucky Nurse Foundation for a long time. My retirement has been serving pretty much on a lot of boards, to name a few, CASA, and I now serve on the Baptist Health System Kentucky, Indiana board of directors, of which I'm the only nurse. So it gives a nice perspective, I think, to me and to them. I'm also a member of the Penny Rowell chapter, of which the Marsha Woodall group. And so that's been a great opportunity for me to stay active locally in my nursing association. Zoom has really made it a wonderful opportunity for those of us in the western part of the state to really be able to interact on a more regular basis with a variety of people. And Kentucky Nurse Foundation provides that opportunity on Zoom. I tried to go back to think about what we've done, and I can't help but start with COVID. We put up signs for support, and I received one to put in my Western Kentucky rural area yard to say our support. We did the apricot ribbon campaign, in which we gave that to a lot of the nurses at the hospital at Baptist Health. And of course, I can't go without saying about the hand sanitizer from the distilleries. And I still have that picture in my mind of Delanor standing on top of a table, I think, trying to get more out. One of the things I thought that was really great for me, being an older nurse, having a husband with some comorbidities, was the opportunity to check in on my chapter partners to find out how they were doing. And it was just an opportunity to say, hey, hello, how are you? Do you need anything? And from that contact, it was great to get some of our post-nursing graduates who were at home and could give us it was kind of a nice conversation. We talked a little bit about the Nightingale Tribute, and Deb Raymond on our board and some other KNA, KNF members really felt like this was important, and I do too. So the Board of Trustees of KNF voted a substantial amount of money to be able to interface with the Kentucky, Indiana funeral home directors. And we went to the convention and explained and demonstrated the Nightingale Tribute. I did one last week, and the funeral director in this very small town was very aware of what it was and was very pleased. So and did a very nice job in helping me get it ready. We talk a little bit about advocacy, and I can't help but thinking of Sockgate. when meeting with the state legislators on funding for nurses and legislative matters, KNF members and KNA members took socks to the legislators. I'd love to see it if they were still wearing it. Next to the last is disaster relief in Western Kentucky. Here in my county, Andy Bashir's family's hometown in Dawson Springs was just devastated by the tornado in December of 2021. And we lost from a 2-month-old baby to several elderly people, for a total of about 15 people were killed in the tornado. Right away, the KNF, KNA, our Pennywile chapter got together and purchased supplies, and food was also delivered. Food money was given to a little woman who had a little restaurant in Morton's Gap. And she had no power, but she went outside and cooked for anybody who came. And it was a wonderful tribute, I think. And she was so pleased with KNA. And over $40,000 was raised by Kentucky Nurse Foundation. So I think that's just another niche that we have that we've done so well with. KNA board members, KNF board members, KNAC people contributed items to our raffle, and we've done this over a period of time. So we're getting good at it. So I think that is especially important. We look at scholarships and research on Kentucky Nurse Foundation, and it's a great opportunity for me to assist, and I get a lot of pleasure out of awarding the scholarships to outstanding nursing students. We just don't have enough money to go around, and so there are so many deserving students. In the future, we have research grants, and so we are getting those ready to go. So we'll be thrilled to have that opportunity, and we need your help. And I think by purchasing items and tickets for the raffle, the half and half pot, I think that is a wonderful way to help us help nurses. And I think this is a way for a retired nurse to work and to continue in their to stay involved in nursing, to stay involved with their community, and it has brought a lot of real pleasure on my part to be able to do this. So thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Our speaker coming up, we don't want her to retire, though. We want her to stay very active. Lauren Bates is not able to join us. She's busy taking care of her students. She's faculty at Hazard Community and Technical College, but we have a video of her talking about the impact KNF had during the Eastern Kentucky floods. And I do want to share that KNF made it possible for every nurse that was impacted by the floods. We took care of the cost to make sure they had their RN license renewed. We paid for that. So next, let's hear from Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren Bates. I am a faculty member at Hazard Community and Technical College. We have campuses in Perry County and also Breathitt County, two of the counties which were impacted. And I am a member of the Southeastern Kentucky chapter of KNA, and several of our counties that are in our chapter were actually affected by the flooding. But I do know that there have been at least 12 counties that FEMA has been working with, Red Cross has been working with, and it's really widespread devastation as far as looking at numbers and impact. We do have several schools within the communities that have been affected. A couple of schools in Perry County, for example, are not going to be able to return to classes in their buildings. They've actually housed those students in a building that they used previously, an elementary school that they had previously closed when they consolidated. Breathitt County has a huge landmass county. It's about 465 square miles from one end of the county to the other. And so when you think about access and impact, that's a huge area. There's about 13,000 individuals, according to the last census, about 5,600 households. There had been some warnings, but it was not what people necessarily expected, and the areas that have been flooded, in many of those areas, it is places that have never flooded before. We woke up, we saw that their water was rising. It was literally rising in minutes. I looked out and it was here, and then whenever I started wading out, it was up to my knees, up to my waist. We had a lot of people who were evacuated by the next day by boat and by helicopter. Very, very scary experiences for those individuals. And I'm speaking a lot of kids and elderly, which, those are our vulnerable populations anyway. One of the things that we're really concerned about is going to be the mental health aspect of this. It has truly been humbling and amazing how people have stepped up, and they have, we've had supply truck after supply truck come in. Now we're kind of beginning to transition into what's next. Winter is coming, even though it doesn't feel like that. And so we have a lot of people who we're looking at how can we get them back in their homes. Once kind of the news coverage leaves, once everybody, then what then?
Thank you, Lauren. So appreciate her sharing her perspective with us. Next, our guest is Dr. Betty Kuiper, a professor of nursing at Western Kentucky Community and Technical College. She shares her story about the tornado that hit her community. Betty?
Hi, everyone. December 10th, 2021, a EF4 tornado, the highest winds were like 190 miles per hour. It had profound damage on Mayfield, Kentucky, which is a western city we have in the western part of the state. KNF was able to provide resources that we provided water, we provided food, we provided blankets. We were able to provide personal items to the people there. I cannot describe what I saw. It was total devastation. I went by the candle factory in which people did lose their lives. It was totally gone. What I remember most is the look on people's faces. They were walking around where their homes used to be. And it was just, like I said, I just can't describe what I saw. Being able to provide the water, they sent me to a little restaurant. It was a little mom and pop place that was providing meals for people in the Mayfield area. And when me and my friend drove up, we had just a truckload of water. The people that were there, they immediately came out and helped us unload the truck. They said they were down to like their last case of water. And one of the men walked up to me and he says, "Where are you from?" And I said, I'm representing the Kentucky Nurses Association and the Kentucky Nurses Foundation. And he looked at me and smiled and he says, "You nurses are always there to help." And that meant so much to me, that, they were so appreciative. And what was also, many of the students that were mine at that time, who are also KNA student members, they all got together, got Christmas gifts, and distributed Christmas gifts to several families. People were really, for the kids and stuff, but me and several others, we decided to get gifts for the adults, and, scarves. It was cold, rainy. And it was just so, I was just so thrilled that I had Delano and KNF and all the members to come together, where I was able to provide this for the people in Mayfield. The devastation is still there. We're currently working with a group right now. It's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And we're getting ready to donate money to them to help them build beds for children who do not have beds. And so, like I said, I'm very honored to be part of KNA. I don't know what we would have done without KNF being able to provide those emergency resources to us, where I was able to provide that to the people of Mayfield.
Betty, thank you so much. You guys continue to be our heroes, and we're with you every step of the way until your community gets restored. Thank you for your leadership and your resilience.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we saved our star nursing student from the University of Louisville to wrap up as the final moment for mission testimony about the KNF impact and what that means to her being one of our scholarship recipients. Let's meet Ellen Tinker. Ellen?
Hi. So first of all, I'm sorry for any background noise. I live right next to U of L Hospital. And if you've ever seen that hospital, you know that it's crazy and there's just ambulances 24/7. So apologies in advance. But so I'm just here to talk a little bit about my journey with KNF and what KNF has done for me. And I'll just kind of start by talking about what got me into nursing. So I originally started off as a poli-sci major, going to school in Washington, D.C. I interned for the U.S. House of Reps. I was very certain that politics was my career. And then March 2020 happened. And it hit DC very, very hard and very fast. And I kind of had this awakening moment where I was looking around at, my political colleagues, and I saw no meaning in it, right? Like I started seeing politics as just this meaningless thing. And I had a fear that I was going to wake up one day at 50 and have a crisis because I'd never helped anyone. And I wanted a career with some kind of meaning. So the same week in March 2020 that COVID hit, I signed up for nursing prereqs, changed my major. I signed up for EMS classes, and I started working in a nursing home and just kind of threw myself at it. And now I go to U of L's nursing school, which I absolutely love. So another thing about me that people are kind of surprised to hear, I guess, is that I grew up in California. And I came to Kentucky because honestly, I just wanted to get out of state, but U of L's nursing program and just the nursing community in Kentucky is, no offense to California, in my opinion, is so much stronger here. It's just a lot more community based and a lot more interpersonal. And I love it. So, and then last year I was lucky enough to be awarded the Nurse Excellence Scholarship through KNF. Getting that call that I had won was just the most exciting thing ever. And I'm so grateful for the opportunities that KNF has given me through that scholarship. Even just things like it lightened my tuition load. So then I had more time to be president of Nursing Student Council. I'm also in the Research Scholars Program, and it allowed me to spend more time doing that. So really, it just gave me a lot of freedom in those aspects to pursue things without having to worry so much about tuition. And the best thing is that KNF does that for a lot of students. KNF and KNA, the way that you guys support students is unparalleled. So later today, I'm actually picking up my honor cords as a KNA student member. So I've gotten volunteer opportunities, the chance to kind of show it off, with the cords. And then I know during COVID-19, we had lots of U of L nursing students partnered with the KNA to go out into the community and really work with patients in a time when nursing students were really just doing virtual clinicals. So KNA was really one of the only groups in Kentucky that was stepping up to prioritize the education of nursing students, and at the same time, help those out in our community. And in the future, I really hope to stay an active member with KNA. I'm already loving the community. I just accepted a job at the same hospital I live next to, in the emergency department. And I'm very excited for that and hope to stay involved. And thank you so much for having me.
Don't you worry, Ellen. We've got our eye on you. And also, just keep those poli-sci skills, because we need more nurses in Kentucky, in the House or in the Senate, or even running for governor, or you can go straight to the top nationally. Congratulations on being one of our scholarship recipients, and all that you're doing is just amazing.
Thank you,
Next.
Katie. I appreciate it.
On behalf of all of the KNA Enterprise leaders, we hope the morning show with the Kentucky Nurses Foundation has been helpful for you to see why we do what we do, as it really is about you, advancing your education, enhancing your professional development, and making a difference in the lives of individuals, families, communities, and health systems through the work that we work hard on with our programming. Next, now you can be a big part of helping us drive more success among all of our KNF programs by using our barcode on the screen right now to have opportunities to win amazing gifts. And I mean amazing. Just look at the $250 Visa gift card for just $25. You could win it. Thank you for joining us this morning. Enjoy the conference, and remember, you are why we love supporting Kentucky nurses. Thank you again for joining us.